Hi everyone, Dave here, freeguitarlessonsonline.com. Welcome to this lesson on blues chords. It's in the key of A, and I'm going to show you a few of the basic chords you can use to play blues. It'll really help if you download the free printable guitar chord charts off the lesson page. If you're watching this on YouTube or another video sharing site, just click the link in the description box just below here, and it should take you to that lesson page and all its resources. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so I'm just going to show you what to do with your fingers for these chords that hopefully you've downloaded. There are 9 of them, 3 rows of 3 chords. And the first one in the top left hand corner is A7. This one's used probably more than any other. Okay, so I'm just barring here at the 5th fret. The root is this note here, fret 5 on your low E string, and that's an A note. That's what makes it an A7. And I'm barring across all 6 strings with my first finger. Then I'm using my 3rd finger on fret 7. Notice how I've got this first joint on the finger is bent this way. It's not like that, it's bent that way. The same thing with this finger when I'm going to push down. So I need to push down on fret 6 of string 3. Where it says delta 3, that just means major 3rd. And the second chord is just a variation of that same chord, A7. I've got my root here, which is just an octave higher than the A here. You get another A right here on fret 7 of string 4. So then the delta 3rd or the major 3rd, it's right here again on fret 6 of string 3 with my second finger. And then I've got my pinky now, right here. This note is a G, which happens to be the flat 7 in the key of A. And another root here on string 1, 5th fret, it's another E string. It's just a higher A note, okay? Okay, and that's just a smaller chord. Maybe if you're playing with a bass player or a band and you want the higher frequencies to sound a bit more, you don't need this bass lower frequency in there as much. Third chord we have here is an A6. I'm sure you've heard that sound, you know, that kind of sound where people slide that little triangular shape, but I'm on strings 2, 3, and 4. String 4, fret 7 with my 3rd finger. String 3, fret 6 with my 2nd finger. My pinky's on fret 7 of string 2. And my first finger's on fret 5 of string 1. Now the second row, got a D7, so here's your root note now. String 5, fret 5, and you're going to bar. We're all going to bar, because I'm barring too. Alright, we're going to bar across fret 5 on these 5 strings like this. Like my 3rd finger where it says P5 just means perfect 5th, just means the 5th note of the major scale. It's just the relationship back to the root. Everything always relates back to the root. Okay, and then my pinky is right here, and that's the major 3rd, or delta, the triangle shape 3, just means the 3rd note of the major scale relating to the root. Okay, so here is a D7. And if you know, and I hope you do, your basic chords, you'll see that this little shape here, if I get rid of this first finger out of the way and slide down to the 2nd fret, I'm just playing an A7 shape. And here's another way to play D7, just flipped over here. Here's your D note, remember? But now I'm going to put my 3rd finger on that note. My 4th finger is going to go on fret 5 of string 3. My 2nd finger is going to go on fret 4 of string 4. My 1st finger is going to, this is another D note on fret 3 of string 2 of your B string. And just be careful, you don't want to hit this or this, these E strings, okay? And that's another way to play D7. Now we're on to D9. This time the root, it's a D still, okay, but you're using your 2nd finger now. fret 5, string 5. Your first finger goes to the major third on string 4, fret 4, and then your third finger needs to bar 3 strings, strings 1, 2, and 3, all along the 5th fret. Notice how on this finger I've got my the finger joint here is bent this way. So you can even practice, just don't be hard on yourself, just doing that a little bit, and even with this finger too, it can help if you're learning F chords and getting that going. So you can learn to bend your finger that way, just don't overdo it. And that's a D9. And, you know, that's that kind of funkier sound, okay? Alright, the next chord is D13. Happens more in jazz, but just so you're aware of it, well, all you do is keep the D9 and add your pinky onto fret 7, because that note is a 6th, the 6th note of the scale, which translates into being the 13 because we add 7. It's beyond the scope of this lesson, but for those of you that are aware of that, and for those of you that aren't, when the time is right, it'll make sense. For now, you just need to know that's a D13 because that's a 13. Okay, so now we're on to, it says E plus. That stands for augmented. It's an augmented chord, and that's because of the structure of the chord. It's a major chord, or a major triad. Major triads are usually root, third, and fifth, those notes being taken from the major scale related to the root note of the chord. And in this case, augmented, the fifth is raised by a semitone. And all I'm doing is third finger on fret 7, which is E, string 5. Then the major third right here on fret 6 of string 4. Then I've got my first finger on fret 5 of string 3, and I'm bridging or barring across here with my first finger on strings 2 and string 3. This happens to be the raised 5th. Normally, that's the normal 5th in the scale. It's raised a semitone, which on guitar is 1 fret, or you can think of it as making the string 1 fret shorter. Okay? There's your E augmented. One last chord, and that's an A9. Put your second finger on the A note, fret 5, string 6, onto the flat 7, your third finger, and then where it says P5 on string 2, fret 5. And then your first finger is going to go on fret 4 of string 3, that's the 9. And string 5 is muted. I'm doing that by having this second finger, the way it's underneath is touching that string, so it's deadened or muted. And string 5 is muted. I'm doing that with my pinky, doing the same thing, touching that string. That's an A9. It's the same as doing an A7, but it's just adding some different notes in. And I just grabbed it like this time. Instead of playing the root note, I'm playing the major third here at fret 4. Okay, so that's basically how to play the chords on the charts. Don't worry if it's a lot for you right now. Just as I said in the written lesson, choose 2 or 3 and stick with those for now until you've got them memorized and they feel a part of your vocabulary. Practicing with the 12-bar blues. Let me know if you have any questions, and all the best. This is Dave at freeguitarlessonsonline.com. Thanks for tuning in and tuning up.